Hi, Sander. How are you? But before you answer, um, you have just there's an audiobook now, right? Audio Tech Business Summaries for
Yes,
boost your career, how to make an impact, get recognized, and build the career you want.
yes.
And now, how does one get that?
They picked up the book. I mean, the book's doing well, and the Audio Tech Business Summary people picked up the book, called, and said, "Can we do a disc on your book?" They have like they have 10,000 subscribers.
So that's pretty cool. And then can you call if someone wants them? Do you call audio? It's audiotech.com, or I guess you can call them at 800-776-1910. 800-776-1910. It's big ideas from Boost Your Career, how to make an impact, get recognized, and build the career you want, which I think a lot of people would want. So,
Yeah,
having said that, now how are you?
I'm wonderful. And you, Jill?
I am all right.
Good.
And our
Thank you.
topic, are you confident or overconfident? Four
Okay.
questions to ask yourself. Although I'm going to add as a sidebar, I think you should just ask me and I will make that
Okay.
determination
Okay.
for you if you're having trouble.
Well, you're a very confident young woman, Jill. You are. So anyway, this is a very interesting piece written by Dr. Sidney Finkelstein, who is a management professor at Dartmouth College. Very well done. It was in C-suite strategies in the Wall Street Journal a week ago. So I thought our audience would be very interested in this. He does a good job. The four questions to ask yourself: Are you confident, or are you really overconfident? So here are the leadership questions that our audience should you know give it some thought. So question number one: How much time do I really spend listening? Yeah, we talked about that a lot. Listening skills, how terribly important that is for leaders. True leaders are great listeners. So uh, what Dr. Finkelstein writes about is, overconfident people like to hear themselves talk. In their minds, they alone have access to the best answers. So why bother listening to others? Uh, I told you I had that problem as a young product manager for Lilly Laboratories growing up. I I answered the question before the question was finished, and finally the marketing vice president called me in and said, "Andrew, I know you work very hard, and I know you're bright, but I'm sending you to a listening skills course." I said, "What?" Yes, you're going to a listening skills course. It's a 3-day course to just keep your mouth shut and listen before you answer. And I learned a lot about listening skills from that course. But most people, of course, don't think of themselves as blathering. They think of themselves as impering wisdom. So it's crucial to see yourself as others do. To do that, you need to ask trusted colleagues what they think and solicit regular 360-degree feedback from your team. Very, very important listening skills. Okay, so question number two, uh, do I originate most of the ideas? Uh, when leaders verge into arrogance, team members often react by going silent. And I've seen that a lot. Why bother putting out new ideas or challenging the boss when it would fall on deaf ears and even occasion a negative response from the boss? So one senior executive complained to Dr. Finkelstein that his team wasn't taking enough of an initiative. So why this person wondered, won't team members stop asking for permission and just act? So when I spoke with the team members, Dr. Finkelstein says, they grumbled that their leader constantly shot down their ideas. Awful. Um, so that's really key. This overconfidence that you know I can do it. I don't have to listen to you. It's me who's running the show. So his suggestion for such bosses on a quarterly or annual basis, gather your team together to perform a creative audit of yourself. Brainstorm all the new programs or projects your team has implemented. Who originated these ideas? If the fingers keep pointing back to you, then either you've hired a team of creative duds, or more likely your self-confidence has veered out of control. And of course, you've seen that a lot as well from the CEOs that you have interviewed, right? This confidence, it's me or no one else. Okay. Question number 3. Do I often feel like I'm the smartest person in the room? Overconfident executives are enthralled by their own intelligence. This is, remember, overconfidence now we're talking about. When customers, competitors, colleagues, or other partners contradict them, these executives automatically think they're wrong. I'm right. They secretly, or perhaps not so secretly, hate to be contradicted, even when their interlocutor delivers the message in private and in a non-threatening way. So, convinced are they of their righteousness that they dismiss clear obstacles to their present course of action, playing down the risks and ignoring or explaining away convenient facts. So when a report they commission comes back with findings that they don't like, they assume the report's methodology or analysis is skewed. Askew. Come on. I've seen this with senior executives, he says, reviewing customer satisfaction and employee engagement surveys. The bad result must be something wrong with the data. It's never you. It's something wrong with the data, because you know what? I'm the smartest person there. There's no one smarter than me. Okay. And finally, question number 4. Do I think of myself as indispensable to my business success? Well, we have a lot of answers there. As we discussed previously, GE has 3 CEOs since Jack Welch left. Not dispensable, they were indispensable. Overconfident people tend to believe their business or team cannot succeed without them. And I'm sure, Jill, you've seen that as well. Our listeners too. This attitude leads them to play down or disparage others' contributions and highlight their own. Team members come away feeling ignored and devalued. Over time, the more talented people of them leave, and that we've seen a lot of. Steve Jobs, brilliant, but the overconfidence that he showed forced a lot of great people to leave his company when he was alive. To spot problems in this area, executives I know, he says, keep spreadsheets tracking departing employees, their stated reason for departure, their length of tenure, and their new place of employment. If your team has become a revolving door, you might want to look in the mirror. Team members move on for many reasons. But his research suggests that the boss's inflated self, the sense of himself, often plays a key role. And of course, we've all seen that. So to counter this, make a practice of giving others the limelight. It's never I, it's we. Credit your team members with coming up with the big ideas. Invite them to speak first in meetings. For an overconfident person, it's very difficult. Give them high-profile opportunities to lead without interference on your part. Make sure that promising team members gain increasing levels of responsibility so that they can one day equal or maybe eclipse your accomplishments. So, you got to ask yourself all these questions and take action in response. The action can prevent healthy self-confidence from verging into unhealthy hubris. So it's a little bit about confident or overconfident. The overconfident people just continue to lose their good people, which we've both seen. So that's a little bit about today's show.
Is there any gender? Are there any gender studies around that?
Not by Dr. Finkelstein,
Okay.
but there are studies
And
out there now. The new ones are coming out about women CEOs, the good and the bad. Why they try to be men rather than being relationship builders, as most women are. The great thing about the women execs that I've seen is that most of them are good relationship builders. The ones that fail are the ones that try to act like a man. Okay, I've seen my boss, this overconfident boss, where he does it, and I'll do it the same way. They fail, and they're out, which we all know about. Okay. So that's a little bit about that. But is there a gender study yet on this? Not that I'm aware of.
I just, unfortunately, when you are dealing with top line headlines and things that make the news, and that's all said, and
Yeah,
it's all got quotations around it, you don't get down to the nitty gritty of actually functioning
yeah,
and what it's like. And a couple of shows back, we talked about how few women
right,
were involved in the hedge fund world, for example.
correct,
But there are obviously companies that have been run by women over time, and some have been successful, and some have not been.
correct.
And I just think that I just wondered if that overconfidence was more a characteristic of one than the other. But
Right, exactly.
there are all sorts of people in executive positions that I think could benefit from asking themselves those
Right.
questions.
You're right. I'm going to listen to a leader, a female leader, uh, uh, Tuesday evening. Nikki Haley is giving a talk, and I'm going to attend that. Nikki Haley is one of the women. Great. I mean, she did a great job as the governor of South Carolina, UN ambassador. I'm going to really find out. I'm going to try anyway with some questions after her talk as to why she decided to leave the administration. As you know, within the Trump administration, most of the people who have resigned from key spots have been men. Patty DeVos, the head of education, is still there. Um, you know, most of the women that he put into spots are still there. It's the men who have seen the overconfidence in him who have submitted their resignation. But I'm curious about Nikki Haley. I'm a big fan of her. I think she did a great job in the UN. But I want to find out why she resigned. The common thing is I want to spend more time with my family, but we're going to learn a lot about Donald Trump from listening to her, I know.
Thank you very much, Sandra Flaum, Leader's Edge.
Thank you, Jill.